Some stories don't resolve. They don't teach lessons. They don't offer closure. They just end and leave something behind. This is one of those stories. It started with a missing person flyer taped to a bus stop near my apartment. I noticed it because the photo looked familiar. Not someone I knew well, just a face I'd seen around. A man in his early 30s. Brown hair. Tired eyes. The name underneath read Evan Collins. Last seen 3 weeks ago. I stared at the flyer longer than I meant to. Something about the expression bothered me. It wasn't fear or surprise. It was recognition. Like he knew the picture was being taken for a reason he didn't fully understand. I moved on and forgot about it. Or at least, I thought I did. A few nights later, I woke up to the sound of someone walking in my apartment. I live alone. Always have. The footsteps were slow and deliberate, moving from the living room toward the hallway. I stayed completely still, heart pounding, listening. Whoever it was didn't rush. They didn't try to hide. They moved like they had nowhere else to be. The steps stopped outside my bedroom door. I held my breath. After a long moment, the footsteps retreated, moving back toward the living room. I didn't hear the door open. I didn't hear it close. When morning came, the apartment was exactly the same. No signs of entry. No missing items. I convinced myself it had been a vivid dream. Then I found the note. It sat on my kitchen counter, folded neatly. No envelope. No handwriting I recognized. Inside, it read, "I didn't mean to wake you." My chest tightened. I searched the apartment again. Nothing. I called the police, showed them the note, explained the footsteps. They took it seriously at first, but without evidence of a break-in. There was nothing they could do. They suggested maybe I'd written it myself. I almost believed them until I noticed something else. The handwriting on the note matched the missing person flyer. I compared them carefully. The way the letters leaned slightly right. The long tail on the Y. The spacing. It was his handwriting. Evan Collins. I told the police. They said handwriting similarities weren't proof. They told me not to obsess over coincidences. That night, I didn't sleep. Around 2 a.m., I heard the footsteps again. Same pace, same calm certainty. This time, I sat up and turned on the lamp. The hallway was empty, but my bedroom door was open. I know I'd closed it. I stood in the doorway, heart racing, and listened. The apartment felt occupied in a way I couldn't explain. Like someone had just stepped out of a room and would return any second. In the living room, the TV was on. Static filled the screen. I hadn't turned it on. The sound shifted, resolving briefly into shapes, faces. Distorted, overlapping images. One of them sharpened for a moment. It was Evan. He looked thinner, hollowed out. His eyes were open too wide. The screen flickered and went black. The next day, I skipped work and went to the police station again. I demanded answers. I showed them photos of the flyer, the note, the TV timestamp I'd taken on my phone. They listened quietly. Then one officer asked a question that made my stomach drop. "Where did you get that flyer?" I told him. "The bus stop near my apartment." He exchanged a glance with another officer. "That flyer isn't real," he said carefully. "We never released one like that." I laughed, sharp and hysterical. I saw it. It was taped there. Other people saw it. He shook his head. We've had multiple reports of people mentioning that flyer, he said. But no one can ever find it again. What does that mean? I asked. He hesitated. It means Evan Collins wasn't reported missing. I went home numb. That night, the footsteps came earlier. They didn't stop at my door. They entered my room. I couldn't move. I couldn't scream. I felt the weight of someone sitting on the edge of my bed. Cold air pressed close to my face. I tried to leave notes, a voice whispered. But they don't keep them. I squeezed my eyes shut. What do you want? I whispered. To be seen, he said. That's how it ends. I woke up alone. The apartment was silent. On my nightstand sat a new photo. It showed my bedroom, me asleep, and someone standing beside the bed. The next morning, my name was on a flyer at the bus stop. Same paper, same handwriting. Last seen, last night. I never saw Evan again. No one ever looked for me either. Some stories don't end happily. They just change who's missing.